So bloody raining out there and it's cold. Yeah, it's not pleasant. Ah. Is it hail out there? Oh, okay. Hail, it's just unpleasant. Hello? 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 Yes, I'm just in the trading room. I'm doing a Zoom meeting. Can you call me at 5:30 or tomorrow? Call me at 5:30 or tomorrow. Okay. Thanks very much. Bye. And cats and dogs. I don't know where that came from, actually. Cats and dogs. Yeah, at least it won't rain in winter. Anyway, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, let's get started. Well, that's not exactly been flying. Let's go to the trades at the moment. Not exactly flying this one. It's 20 pips in the red, but let's see if something can happen. The positive, that's how I have stop loss and correct position sizing. We speak to a chap just now. That's why I'm a little bit late, and usually about 5:02. I was finishing off the call, trying to explain to him he's too small account, he's going in too big, and that's why he's having problems. But anyway, so just make sure your position size is correct. 20 pips is unpleasant to be against you, but it's not the end of the world, and we might come right anyway. Okay, start to move down, which is good. Okay, right. The other one, EuroCAD, not so pretty. We're having a bit of a tough time with the euro. I don't know why it's continued weakness. Anyway, it bounced off around about the fourth middle of the round figure, about 4.7, and maybe it'll bounce up. And the NAS, I think, was doing a little bit better last I looked. It was jumping around on opening. Last I looked, a little bit better. Yeah, it was slight better, but pretty quiet. But that's about 30 pips in profit. So we'll see how they go. Okay. Yeah, that's those three taken care of. Just a quick mention, just a quick update. And that's yeah, that's about it. The gold is still holding pretty nicely around the 20 mark. We haven't really got an opportunity to buy it as yet. I was hoping that I've mentioned a little bit further down, but it is going to be fairly sideways. I'll be honest, the markets, as you probably noticed yourself, clearly been pretty sideways today anyway. As I say, I think everyone's waiting for Wednesday. It's skittish out there, and like myself and probably yourselves, I don't blame them. It's pretty much sideways action at the moment, and you can tell that from the NAS as well, because it's not exactly direction. It's a pretty narrow range trade at the moment, as you can see. Let's put on the 15 minutes. Yeah, well, narrow, maybe not that narrow, but it's 50 pips, which is fairly narrow for opening on the NAS. Usually it jumps around 150 in the first few minutes. So it's been yeah, 150 odd pips first few minutes. You know, it's quite normal. There's only been about 50, so it's all a bit subdued, a bit like watching snail racing. Okay. All right, so we'll just let them run and see if they can come right in the end. They can. I looked at the banks as promised, and they went shooting up on opening, and then it came off, and now it's going up again. So it's giving me no direction at all. I looked at that. I looked at Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, and that jumped up for whatever reason and decided to come off a bit. So that's not giving me direction. JP Morgan, pretty similar. So we're not getting direction. That's the problem. I've been looking keenly for the CHF JPY. I don't like the GBP CHF. We did pretty well on that one, so we get another shot at it. But this one, I can't get an entry. We missed it at 150, so I'm leaving that. And what was the other one I mentioned? GBP CHF. Looking for maybe another sell on that one, but it doesn't seem to be coming into operation unless we got one out. Yeah, we got one out. I don't know what happened to that one. That's right. We got one out. That was on Friday, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, that's right. We got in about where it is now. And I think just let it run. Okay, so we already got one out. It runs around about this entry price here, plus minus. So we'll see how that runs. It's really very much sideways. I've looked at it. As I say, it's been to me a little bit like look at gold back to 2022. It's a bit like watching snail racing. I believe there is such a thing, believe it or not. So yeah, it's going to be more of the same going in, I'm afraid. So yeah, and it's pretty quiet on the fundamental front today as well. There's not a heck of a lot tomorrow, if I remember rightly, as well. So just bear that in mind. Okay, right. A normal story. Most of the guys in there, I recognize the names, still have my details, will have the economic calendar, they know to save the charts. The basic stuff I go through, you're aware of, so maybe repeat that at this stage. So anything you'd like to discuss with me in the meantime? How to solve the Eskom problem. Might be a bit of a problem, that. So anybody got some great ideas? Hope we're going to make it all back anyway and do another good one on the Wednesday toppers. On this rather dreary day.
Afternoon all. Sorry, I'm currently working on my cell phone. Somebody, it seems, tried to steal the fiber cables again or something.
Oh, not again. Yes.
No, this is really ridiculous, my friend. I'm getting cheesed off. I don't know. So it's very close to Joburg or somewhere because it's even affecting currently Newcastle and KZN. So I don't know what the hell's going on with Vumatel.
Because I'm with Vumatel, I don't have any problems. I'm actually with Vox. I use Vumatel, and Vox is the company, and they usually say if any problems, they usually send an SMS and an email. But I haven't had any problems on that side myself. But I mean, yeah, that's the third time for you.
Yeah, no, it's getting ridiculous. Now I got it. We have a fiber group, and that was just posted that they know the outage and it's been escalated. They don't know how long it's going to take. So that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I know. The place is falling to pieces, the setup. It really is.
Yeah, and I even see that Botswana got a blackout. So I don't know what the guys are doing in Botswana, not Botswana. So I don't know what's cooking, eh? I hope they didn't have a total blackout, but I did see there was on News 24 something that Botswana experienced a blackout.
That does surprise me because they tend to poke fun at us because I was up in Botswana. They tend to poke fun at us because they don't have a problems with their electricity. That is interesting. Anyway, or their feeds or whatever. I don't know. Fortress cell. Yeah, might be an idea. Something different there, Michael. Right. Have a look at that. Tells me a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, yeah, what about Ford? We'd actually done lots of what happened in the past and got a lot to do it, and just did well in the past and we're saying repeat it, but we've done a couple of Ford trades in the past and we've got in and short selling on each occasion and it did okay, yeah. Don't see why it shouldn't continue. We were expecting downside. Let's look at the Dow. That's more of the Dow. The Dow was coming off earlier on. Yeah, it's still coming off. And that's part of the Dow. So let's go back to Ford. Don't like the stop. Maybe you put it there. And where? How far is that? It's about 50 cents. Not the singer, not the rapper. Sure. Take it down there. You might just squeeze it. Might just squeeze it. It's only about 1.5. You're happy with that? But otherwise, I agree. Let's look at the weekly. Bit decisive, but it looks like it's probably come off. It's on the 4 hours, it's a sell. On the daily, it's a sell. Do you want confirmation or something like that? But yeah, it's not bad. Maybe get it at 12 if you like. Maybe put a penny order at 12. Maybe a 12.50 stop. And TP down here at about 11.50. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, 11.50. That's not going to work. Happy down here, sorry. That's about what, 80 cents for the about 50. You just about squeeze it. 11.20 if you get it about 12. 12, and then it's a 50-cent stop. So it's about $1 basically, or 18 rand. It's 9 rand a share, US basically. 1.0. If you're getting it at 12, it'll be 9 rand a share. So just multiply, just work it out from there. Remember, you'll be a big figure. You might have 10, you might have 5, you might have 20. I don't know, depending on you. But don't put in 0.1 and stupid like that. Just need a bigger figure. Now, the actual figures is if you get a 12, simple as this. I hope you understand the math on this. It's going to be 9 rand per share or 50 American cents per share. Is yours. Share member is 1.0. I think you all know that by now. But I think you might get 12 because you might squeeze it. It's a bit of a squeeze to go in at market. Get a risk reward. It's 80 cents to risk. No, you're not. No, yeah, you're gonna have to get at 12 to do it. But I like it if you get 12. What do you guys think? Yeah, can't put a TP wide in that. So worth your while, 12 will do. And you got a 50-cent stop at about 80 cents profit, which is quite a lot, an 11 rand share. It's not a 100 rand share, $100 share. I mean, how do you feel, guys? All understanding that? Like it? Don't like it? How do you feel? Figure there, so maybe we're quick on it. Maybe just having a quick check on your systems there and your strategy. But I'm looking at a sell at 12, 12.50 stop, 11.20 as a TP. Pending, yeah, Mike, I agree. Put a pending order in, yeah. You all know that, do that? Hey, sell limit. Don't forget, it's 9 rand or 50 American cents per 1.0. So you don't, so put in 10 is only 90 rand risk. You get the idea. 20 is 180 rand. So you can put a big number in. Anyone else look at that? Have you done a share yet, Manu? Maybe try that as your pending order, your first share. Yeah, give it a go. It's R9. If you go in at 12, put it pending order, R9. Sorry, $12, 12.0. First aid, that's fine. Remember, you work out your risk. You know what you're prepared to risk. Divide what that is by 9, and that'll give you a figure. It might be quite large. I know you used to putting in like 0.1 or whatever it is. This is, you might put in 50 or 100 or I don't know, whatever you want to risk. 200, 300, 400, whatever. I'll put down to pending. Give it a try. Thanks, Sir Mike. I quite like it. Stop, sell, 12.0, 1250, 1120. If you've got a risk calculator, you can work it out exactly. You should have one. It's on your LMS. The light's back on. Okay. Actually, with costs, make it 10, okay? You're going at 12, make it around 10 Rand per share. That's slightly higher in the cost, but rather make it around 10 Rand to work your risk out. Make it a little bit easier for you as well. F stop, you should be able to. Don't know why that is. When you go in there, you put in, well, try putting in Ford, F-O-R-D. And then common stock, not the dots, comma, just the dot. And then enter. Or just F stop might do it. That will do it. F stop will do. Try that, should work. Make sure it's, if you've got a micro account, it's not in your micro account. You only have the NAS and the DAX, NAS and the DAO on that one. Okay, so work it out. Your risk is 10 Rand a share. So if you want to risk 100 Rand, you put in 10.0 with your volume, but don't forget it's a pending order. Okay, it may or may not get filled. It's a pending order, you have a choice. It could be day, which means if it's not filled tonight, it'll be automatically removed. Or we put GTC, which means good till cancelled. And that means it'll sit there till you cancel it, or of course it's filled, depending. So probably GTC would be just as easy to remember it's there. If you could just mute yourself there, please. Guguletu, can you mute yourself, please? Hear the background noise there. Just mute yourself. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, see if that gets filled, that order. Okay, and say it is quiet, like I mentioned. I can't help that, not much I can do about that. That's completely on my control. But if you do see something, or want to go back over something, or discuss something, or chat about something, or whatever, as long as it's within the realms of trading and then fun, don't want to get all negative and insulting, or whatever, if you have a tough time with it. But if you have a great time, you can certainly tell us about that. But yeah, if you do want to have a look at something, don't forget, as Michael did, some shares you can look at. Like I say, it's very sideways, so it might be a quiet trading on today. So we maybe have some areas of Q&As, maybe just join in, discuss a few ideas. Anyone take any EJs strategies? Any EJs been taken? Any EJ trades been taken? and how they're going. Okay, no problem, man. Really good stuff. Then how they. Maroping, you all updated? Are you cool? Any questions you'd like to ask that we feel anyone left out? Very few people on today, by the way. There's bad weather, having problem with fibre, and unfortunately, some guys just don't have big backups when it comes to load shedding. And it's been about 10 hours today altogether. My main worry is that you get they say it's unlikely, but what they say and what happens are two different things. Get a total grid failure. Apparently, that will be the trigger for a total anarchy. Apparently. $12 hours. Mine's 10 or 11, but not 12. It's a couple of 4-hour shifts. That's the problem. 4.5 or whatever. But I think it's also having a problem with getting coal delivered. I think some of the Transnet problems are there as well. And of course, there's a normal bit of, I think, some looting of some stuff as well, maybe. Yeah, it's very quiet today. I don't think I can find any more trades. Even if I wanted them, even if you had the money for it, you've got free margin for it. It just seems so very quiet at the moment. Very much drifting sideways. Waiting for hopes the CAD CHF might come off a bit. And EuroCAD might get a bit of recovery, we'll see. Well, this is the major problem, Ken. This is my main worry. Because, you know, it gets, well, in Joburg particularly, it gets heck of a cold. Well, not in Joburg, try the Free State. And the Natal Midlands, I've stayed there. And it's a very different temperature to Durban, Natal Midlands, and it drops below zero. And so it'll definitely be require more heating. So, yeah, maybe they get gas in or something, gas heaters. EJ is just a strategy developed in the trade. I'll explain that quickly. It's used not on the ZAR, by the way, on normal currency crosses major pairs. Let's take, we've got the CAD CHF. You go to the data, I'm just picking that up arbitrarily, and you can see it's in the sell or the buy zone. Well, at the moment, it's in the sell zone. So, so you look to sell it. You go there and you look at the hour, and it's got to be below. If you sell it, it's got to be below the 10-hour moving average. It's not, so you can't do it. But if it was below that, then you would put in a sell order, obviously work out your volumes, and you put a 50 pip stop. That works out to 90 Rand. 90 Rand a micro is your volume, so you work your volume out. And then you go in and, 50 pip stop, and you can even put a trailing stop, and you leave it there, no TP, to either stopped out or it moves back above the 10-day moving average, and then you close yourself out. Now, the 50 pip is when you start, but if you're getting to a nice profit, you can reduce that stop accordingly, maybe down to 30, 25, 20 as time goes on. It's just purely based on momentum, nothing else other than that, because a lot of time it moves the momentum where some strange things happen. Doesn't make sense. Why is that happening? So just basically, it's just an alternative evolved in the trade room here a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, so we just trade is pure momentum, nothing more technical, clever than that. I'll give you another choice. Let's say Euro CHF. Euro CHF arbitrary. On the daily, it is in the sell zone. Go to the hourly. It's just breaking now into the sell zone on the 100. So if you wanted to take that one, you put the stop 50 pips above and work out your volume, put a sell order in, and either modify your stop accordingly as it goes down, or put a trading stop. As it comes down, maybe you're 30 pips in profit, then maybe you start modifying your stop to 30 pips, trading stop or whatever. You've got to play it by ear. You've got to think a little bit and just run it down. Fuel and momentum. Make sense? Do another example. One more. Okay, let's see what you think. I'll pick one out. Here's the EUNZD. Let's go to the daily chart. Now, it's in the neutral zone at the moment, so you're going to leave that alone. You've got to do in the buy charts above. Daily charts, you look, it's above, it's a buy. In the between, you leave it alone. Ignore the 100-day, just the blue and the brown. So between the blue and the brown, you leave it. If it's below, you look to a sell. How do you confirm the sell? You just go to the hourly. If you're selling it's below, that's fine. If you're selling it's above, you've got to wait till it goes below. But you can't anyway because it's still in the neutral zone, so you've got to leave it. Right, so try another one. EURJPY. Where we now on the day we're in the we're in the buy zone. So you get the hourly, but unfortunately it's below the red on the hourly, so you leave it alone. Try euro dollar, go to the daily. Where is it? Where's the day? It's down here, isn't it? Yeah, so it's in the buy zone, the euro dollar. Then you go to the 1 hour. It's not above the red line, so you leave it, and so on till you find it's one's above the red line the hour, and you confirm the buy or the sell. The neutral, forget it, and you ignore the black line.
Roger,
Yeah, go for it.
have a look at Euro CHF. It's very close for the EJ.
It's in the sell zone on the daily, and on the hourly. Yeah, that's one you can do. Yeah, you can do that one on the hourly. Yeah, so that's fine. So if you like this one, a 50 pip stop. So clearly you put it at 98 to 53. Call it 98.50. Okay. 98.50 is stop. Work out your volumes, 90 rand a micro, no TP. And if you want to do a trading stop, you can. If you don't want to do a trading stop, just put a 50 pip stop in and then periodically check it out and modify accordingly. Keep it 50 pips away till you're 30 pips in profit. Then you bring it down to entry and maintain the 30 pip. I'm just off the top of my head that, by the way. 30 pips maybe, and then maybe later on bring it down to 20 pip until you eventually stop down. If you're very busy, you have other stuff to do, different story. If you're about to go to sleep at night time, just change it to trading stop. Quite used to do a trading stop. Don't look at me trading, not too pretty, but you know, I have to show you how to do it now. Okay, so they're not looking too pretty. That AUD CAD, I'm sticking with it. It's not very good. Anyway, you go there and you that symbol side with CAD CHF, for example, you right click on it, you go to trading stop, you go to custom, and you put in 500, not 50, it's points. 10 points, 1 pip, remember that? So you just put in 500, and then if you want to cancel it, you right click on it, go to trading stop, and then you say, we'll say none. Just click on the none, it's deleted, and then you replace the stop with, let's say, 300 or 250, whatever you want to modify it to, if you're doing the trading stop route. Okay. All good? So you can try that one out if you like. Got that, Jose? All good, yeah. Hope everyone else has got that. Got that, Gertrude? You got that, Google. That's good stuff. You got it. Good stuff, Gertrude. Well done. Just make sure people are not left out. Everyone's welcome. Okay, all right. And probably sideways. And just quickly check: is the gold sideways? Yeah, sideways. Nasdaq coming off a little bit, but still pretty much sideways. Just coming up a bit. Okay, all right. If anyone doesn't understand that and would like to know, I'm quite happy to repeat. It's very, very quiet at the moment. I'm not sure we can go the full distance this afternoon, because if I run out of stuff to say and you're all happy, haven't got any questions or trades or whatever, I might have to go and cook us early supper or something. If you can find a trade, of course that comes first, obviously. But we can chat about other stuff. But we've got the time now, so make sure you all understand that. And just make sure, a couple of you guys, and just to make sure, don't forget, right click on the chart and don't forget to save your template. If you've done it already, of course, you probably hear it every day and probably sick of it. But new guys come in, put your name in there and save it. So if you do lose your charts, you right click and then you find them down there, the ones you save. So if you've done that, don't panic if you lose your charts. It can happen. And then for some reason you click a button, I don't know, something happens. I'm no tech expert. And all you do is then you right click and we get you go to your save charts, get back up and running. And don't forget, just go to specification, left click, right click, specification gives all the information you need on that specific instrument. People say, what's margin? Give me a margin. Just don't need it. Just go to specification, gives you the margin there, gives the contract size, gives that information there, gives the spread, what the spread is, that's all there. And I think Gertrude and that you've got the economic calendar and the dollar index. I believe you've got it. If you haven't, just let me know and I'll copy and paste on the chat line for you. Simple as that. Very important you do have it. And that we can clean up. We've got quiet moments. And if one's still not sure, just say so. It'll be EJ, if you want to add it to your portfolio of trade ideas or strategies, shall we say. Yeah, use it for currencies. I think the Nasdaq's slightly different. So once you get a bit of practice on the currencies, then we can go. We'll go to the Nasdaq. But leave that for a moment. Just stick with currencies. But if you're not sure, still let me know, and then I'll show again. So at least you got the hang of it. You need to be confident, of course. If you're not sure, means obviously then you're going to be a little bit nervous. You need to be sure. It's not that difficult. You probably notice it needs to be shown so you understand it. Okay. Is any move north on the F stock? Oh, it'd be nice to get into shares. We've got all these shares, and nothing's happening. Start trading them. It's trying to go up a bit, so we might get it. Might get filled. Keep your fingers crossed. Still already now there. Sure, good. Either. Obviously, the profit, probably percentage is better if you like. I'll tell you why. Is one person puts a hand up, made 100 rand. Another person puts a hand up, says made 100 rand. Well, it doesn't really mean much because one guy might have 1,000 rand balance, another guy might have 50,000 rand balance. Guy with 1,000 rand balance, that's 10%. So he's doing pretty well. The guy with 50 grand balance, what's that? 50,000, 5,000, 500. That's less than 1%. It's like 0.2 of 1%. It's like 2%. It's not an octave. It's a small, So rather word percentage. You know what I'm saying? And if you're making 10 grand, it doesn't really mean anything unless it's the percentage of whatever your balance had. So it's probably better to look at percentages. But as long as it's in the blue, that's the main thing. Because you say, this week I made 6%. That's a phenomenal rate of return. You've got to compare that with the savings account. Savings account's about 6% plus minus per year. So you just got to remember. but it's better really to get an understanding percentage. It puts things into perspective as well. I mean, you say I want to make 100 rand a day. Doesn't sound much. Could you say that's that's 20,000 a year? That's 100 times 100 times 10 is 1,000. Is that 100? That's more than it. 200 times 10 is 2,000. 20,000. Yeah, it's about 20,000 a year. So that's a lot of money when you put it in that perspective. Yeah. So I think it's a fair question, that.
It makes sense now, sir.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think I will stick to the percentage as a strategy, because this morning I was watching a podcast about some of the successful traders from England, and he raised the fact that rather than focusing on the profit, should stick to the the percentage range. So I saw that as his strategy. So I thought maybe if I can adapt that mindset, maybe things might develop even better.
Yeah, well, I agree with the guys, and the fact they're successful means they must be pretty good. But when you think about it, guys, it makes sense anyway. Like I mentioned, Mr. Millionaire has made 1,000 rand. He's going to be fairly disappointed. But Mr. Guy with a couple of grand, he's going to be over the moon, because it's a very 1,000 rand remains the same, but the percentage of the balance is a different ballgame. So that's you aim at. And it put you in a better mood. You think you only made 20 rand, but if you've got 1,000 rand in your account and make 20 rand in a day, that's 4,000 a year. That's 400% a year. That's an astronomical return. So you've got to put it back, so you put you in a sort of better mood when you made 30, 40 rand on a small account. It doesn't sound much, but as a percentage, it might put you in a much better mood, if you like. So I tend to agree with that. And it'll get away from some of the sort of the mathematically non-inclined, ridiculous expectations they get. They say they want to make 10 grand a month, and they say, how much you got? And they got about 4 or 5 or 6 grand their account. Well, immediately they should be asking a percentage. That's out of the question to be sustained. You might make it once, you might double your money in a day, but if you do that, it means you're going in too big. So which means that you won today, you lose the next day, and you got no money left. You're overexposing. So you should take 1% to put into perspective. Yeah, it's a natural human inclination. I don't want to put in much, but I want to get a lot. Everyone says, "What is the minimum?" I would say, "What do you want to make? The maximum or the minimum?" You want to make the maximum? Well, unfortunately, you're not going to do it. Put in the minimum. Put in minimum, get minimum. Unfortunately. But it's understandable, just for just trying to steer people into understanding that for themselves. No. I'm not. Are we on the same way? I'm not talking percentage of balance of a position. It's talking about profit. I'm assuming, unless I'm on the wrong road. It's talking about profit. So if he made 6% profit, he's a happy chappy if he did that in a few days, because that's compared to a year in a savings account. That's very good. He's not taking like if you've got $1 million in your account, you want to risk 1%, 10 grand on that trade. That's a different ballgame. Now, guys who've got 50, 60, 100 grand and more can look at maybe 2% or slightly less. But if a guy's got 1,000, they can't. They won't be able to trade. There's not a single trade out there, maybe 0.0001 on the solid NAS micro or something. But then you're wasting your time. What the hell do you want to start trading to make 10 cents? It's a lot of effort for no return. But so you've got no choice but to go and say risk 10%. You only got a 5 or 1,000. Otherwise, you won't be able to trade. There won't be a single trade out there where with a stop loss to the entry is your risk. It's going to be small enough to allow you to trade. My main thing is to say, if you want to do this job properly, think, man, and put some money in. How can you go into capitalism with no capital? But mostly it's this fear factor, or they heard somewhere that they could do that and the rest of it. And unfortunately, I don't cold water on it, but if you're putting amounts in, fair enough. But then you get commensurate smaller returns. But your account, I'll be honest, 1 or 2% is fine. It's certainly not over 2%. Well, that's up to you. It's your money. The guy might put 500 grand in, but he's getting his $20 million from the Caymans to put in, then he can go high if he wants. But I didn't know he had 50 million in the Cayman, that's why. You probably wouldn't tell me anyway, get any sense. So yeah, that's a very good question, very fair question. And I encourage most people to understand that. Work on percentages to put things in perspective. Because I'm saying to the guy today, and I couldn't seem to get through to him. Yes, you can trade with 100 Rand, but you're very limited where you can trade, number one. And number two, even if you could, I mean, why would you? Because what's the point? The amount of returns you get in such a paltry sum of money, it's basically you can't buy a hamburger in a restaurant for that. You're going to be working pretty hard, and what sort of return are you going to get? You know, you can grasp the concept there. Oh, he said he could do that, and then some bloke saying, "Do it." Is it worth it? Do you want to crawl to Cape Town or fly or go by car? You can crawl if you want, but when are you going to get there? I must admit, it doesn't help when you pull these adverts go on Instagram that you can trade over accounts of $10. Yeah, we can, but basically, it's not going to do much with it, unfortunately. Actually, come back to that question, just noticing how many positions open. I mean, I've had more than 5 before, but not very often. Some I've had about 6 sometimes. If I really see the market's hot and we'll go and do it, you know, you get feast or famine job. But normally I say around about 5. If you can, if you've got the sort of ability to monitor more than 5, you can. As long as you're not free margin, you can do. At least it's more spread. You can't just diversify. Keep saying. But a lot of people don't know what I mean by diversifying. You spread your risk. There you see, look at 8.4%, that's fine. But don't just close it, say, once I get 8%, I'm going to close it. You can if you like, but I mean, rather if you're a winner, grab it because, you know, again, you know, you might get better at it. You might not, but then again, you might. And it's nice to say you made 20% on the NAS, and then you lose a few percent on the others, and you're going to be in net profit. So if it meets your target, just modify your stock, and you might get a bit more out of it. Because if it hits the TP and you even modify the TP and get more out of it, your 2 or 3, 4 winning trades like that will make up for 7 or 8 that didn't. And then you're smiling. But that's fine. Major, as long as you're happy, that's the main thing. But stick with it. I put in perspective percentage. It's so range trade at the moment. It's back to break through 13.2. I think it's a matter of time. If you're out, you take it, it's fine. If it rallies up, good for you. And then you can maybe take it again. And remember, if you look at this, it's quite straightforward. That's why I like these highs, because you can see it's been defended every time. And the reason it's self-fulfilling, not because everyone thinks the Nasdaq is not worth 13.5 or 13.4. It's just they're looking there and they say, it's back to break those highs. You're seeing it, I'm seeing it, so everyone else is going to see it. I think I'm a bit nervous to buy it up there. It's not breaking it, so I might as well sell it, you know. And then it becomes self-fulfilling. That's the idea. That's the theory. Hey, it's nearly there. Come on, F-stop, get your ass up there. But by the way, F-stop, do as you're told now, get the 12. Forget the ascendants, go to descendants. Just get the 12 and come off. Do as you're told, Mr. Ford. There, I've just issued a Holsworth directive, trading support directive. Yeah, I do like gold. Every time it's come off a little bit, you know what I mean? It's bounced up pretty quickly. It's so yeah. I don't know about you guys. Are we chasing it here? I think we're chasing it a bit here. And I'm just a bit worried I might get stuck in the sideways motion before 2:30 on Wednesday and something goes wrong. Thing I'm worried about. But I hate to see it moving and I'm not on it and missing out in a way. Maybe just be patient, discipline on it. You with me, Cavetto? I'm talking away here. A couple of guys say I don't understand what I'm talking about or it's too quick or something. Just let me know and I'll try and rephrase it slightly better, basically. I forget, so I'm doing it all the time, and you forget sometimes that's what you're on about. So, guys, don't feel left out. Please join in. Dow doing some stupid, but that's coming off a bit. What's the Dow doing? If it stops moving, might just get there. Might just get this, trying to anyway. What about the Dow? Somebody could look at as well as the NAS. How far to stop? It's a heck of a stop. That's the only problem. You really need a wide stop. That's 600 odd pips, 660 pips. It's a hell of a stop, that. Unless it gets too wide, maybe you want to do it here. Maybe 34,000. I do see some downside there. Maybe 520 pips can take it. Yeah, we'll stop there. That might do it. Maybe 33.9. Well, look at it anyway, see what you think. Let's look at it. Make sure it's on the micro, not on the normal, unless you got the funds for it. I should put in manually. 33.9. And put a 0.0, but it might kick up. And then we take it down here. 33,120. I think it's just squeeze it. Just squeezing it. Maybe slightly tighter stop. Just slightly tighter. Yeah, slightly tighter. There you are. Don't worry about 0.5 or whatever you call that. 33,880, something like that. Looking like a range trade. If you're a bit nervous, don't do it. I think you might get to pull back there. If you like the NAS, maybe this one. There you are, one deal. If you like that one, $53 a shot. Maybe if you're out the NAS, maybe try the Dow. Or anybody else come to that? What do you think, Cavetto? Do you want to try it? See some other names there that people left out. Okay, Bondili likes it. Mundler, Maraping, Obed, some of the guy Tapello. What do you think? Do you like it? Everyone, I'm just registering because I don't often, sometimes think I forgot them. Mandela likes it. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, why not? Mandela likes it. Obed likes it. Good for you guys. There are. Put that down. And there we are. Dow Micro. Sell. 33590. 33590. 338. Put 880. 33120. Call it $50. Yeah. got a reasonable size account. I'm only getting very small because it's obviously on the normal one it's 500 micros, so I'll just go small on this one. What is it? 33880 and 33120. I'm already in the NAS, so I don't have to do that. All right, let's move on from there. Nice thing with the down norm was a slightly tighter spread, as you can see. Spread's a lot tighter, which is like quite nice once you can afford it. Seem to come to a grinding halt. Most of the stuff here. Sorry to say, guys, most of the grinding halt job might be a bit quiet. If stock nearly there, just trying to push a little bit higher for 12. Remember, if you're selling it, it's got to get to 12 here. If it gets to 12 there, no good. It's got to get to 12 here. Okay, guys, anything else you'd like to discuss? Have a look at again. Looks like you might be right. It's popping up a bit, the NAS. But about 13,200 should be popping up a little bit. So you might be all right then, indeed. If you made 8%, that's a happy chappy for you. Very satisfied, yeah. And how long was that one, Dealey? Was that a couple of days or since last week or since when? That's really work out. What annual would if you could do that every time? When do you go for it, one Dealey? When do you enter the NAS?
I entered this morning, sir.
Only this morning?
Yes.
Yo. No wonder you're bloody happy. 8% in a day. Wow.
Thank you very much for the compliment, sir.
Oh, yeah. Don't overreach now. If you make 8% per day, my friend, you'll be a millionaire very quickly. What a pleasure.
God. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. You're a nice one. Yeah. Not sure why the banking stocks are going up, must admit. I'm not quite sure at all. Or even side, I thought there might have some pullback. What about PayPal? They're all over the place, very strange. Okay. It's pretty quiet today, isn't it? It's a bit like snail racing in a way. GBP shade chef. I think we're already in a trade there, but if you're not, and you want to do this one. If you're not in this one, I like this as a sell. It seems to be a bit of a range trade at the moment, but it might break through. I feel it break through downside. So anyone not in it wants to go into it is a good entry point. Same figures on the trading mailbox, MT5 mailbox if you want it. Don't seem to want to get there. You want to jump the gun, maybe it's nearly there. Go in instead of 12. Be patient, not. I think you still squeeze the risk reward if you went in now. If you think it's not going to get to 12, but yeah. Don't be patient. I've done that before, and they did get there. Not the patience, and sometimes you're right. You got it. Who knows? You hate to miss it. I think I quite like that. This one here I want to do, but I want to get the right price again. What about EURCHF? Did anyone do that on the EJ? I think it's come off a bit. Yeah, if you did the EJ, you've been doing well. Did anybody do that in the EJ? Did you try it out there? Or say on the EJ I mentioned? That's the one Finey pointed out just now, remember? No, you didn't. Okay, fair enough. Did anybody do it? If not, there's no point me going on about nobody did it. Oh, you are. Good stuff, Brian. We should be in profit then. Instead, look at the 50-minute chart. Clearly, you should be in profit. You did about 15 minutes ago. So you should be in a bit of a profit. Not much, but at least it's going in the right direction. That's fine. Good. Excellent. Are you good, guys? Any questions? Any you're not sure about? You're good with the EJ? You're good with the other stuff? Anything particularly you want to discuss? You might think, should we put on a different moving average or stochastic? You think it's a good idea? One guy thought stochastic was a very good idea. You might like it. We'll check it out. Anything new like that, we'll have a look at. I'll give my opinion, what it's worth, and look at it. Anyone wants to share on that basis or not sure of? You are GBP, it's interesting. Do you want to go short or long on this? What do you want to do this Monday? Buy it or sell it? Or EJ? Are we talking about EJ or what are we talking about here? You just put the pair up, but you didn't give me what you want to do with it. Because we can sell it on the EJ. That's definitely an EJ. It's gone below the sell zone, and it's on the sell zone on the 1 hour. So if you want to do that one, you can. It's pretty sideways. I give you that. Do you want to do that one? But I'm not quite sure what to buy or what you want to do with it. Well, for an EJ one, it's okay. Going to go for the normal. But my problem actually is it's quite a bit of resistance on the weekly here. It's only what 17 pips away. But we ignore all that if you want to do the EJ one. Oh, you've been on a buy. Oh, you're already in it. That's a completely different ballgame. Well, you're probably not very happy if you bought it. Oh, that was our debacle of the year last week, wasn't it? It's just hanging on in there. Okay, well, I don't know. This is on the weekly. This is only what 20 odd pips away. So it might get there and bounce Friday on Friday. But it's not looking pretty. Look at that. It went up to there and came off again. 4 hour. So it's not looking pretty, I'm afraid. But I thought everyone been stopped out that trade last week. That's what gave us some bloody hassle. Maybe make it back on Wednesday on the CPI session at 2. Yeah, well, everyone got a bit burnt the euro last week. Not doing much better this week. Give euro a miss actually. That seems doing the opposite of what we want to do. I thought that was pretty strong and held hold, but it looks like it's not. Anyway, we'll see. Still in it, give it a chance. Dollar's a bit sideways, just 101's holding. All got the dollar index to take it. If you haven't, I'll just post it. Just let me know and I'll post it for you. Anyone in WTI? because I went in again. That's not too bad. What am I doing? Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I went in there. So that's my stop loss. It's in profit now, so I'm covered. So you can get a bit better out of it. Although the 10 days seems to be holding on this. We'll see. You made a profit on that one. Good. Yeah, and assume by that you're out. And said made is the past tense. But if it's hold above 73, you might get some more out of it. Anyway, I'm protected. I got my stop at 72. By the way, just remember, guys, a lot of people ask about the rand. Nothing wrong with it. It's like we wouldn't have it if something wrong. Just bear in mind that it's a higher deposit and the costs are much higher. It's known as an exotic, just to remind you. Okay. So I'd suggest you don't really do the ZAR on smaller accounts because it means you're tying your cash up with it and you can't go anywhere else because all your margins have been tied up in this. The deposit is higher. You're still in the month. You should be doing all right. I don't know what price you got in, but what's going on as well, I can see anyway at the moment. And the F stop looks like it's about the 12. Anyone got that triggered? Might not quite yet because it's got to get there on the bid. But anybody triggered? Has anyone got into the F stop yet, or still waiting for it to jump that little one more cent? Ken in the morning session asked for your opinion on gold, yeah, through the coming Wednesday CPI. Okay. So yeah, we did. Can you put your find and not get into trouble workers? Okay, yeah, no problem. I've decided I agree with Ken. I'm going to go along with it. So with the CPI, I'm going to go for the gold. And just going to be $1 above, $1 below. And I think because somebody made a comment on it struck home quite a bit, was it's more stable for the particular movement. And I checked out the gold movement on the non-farm compared to the euro dollar, and it was more profitable, had a more sustained movement, not just bigger, but more sustained. In other words, the euro comes off a bit, and because it's such a widely traded instrument, most widely in the world, people take a profit, it bumps up a bit. The gold, it doesn't quite have as much bouncing around. If it goes in that direction, it seems to go in that direction. So basically, I went along with him and said I agree. So when we're going to do that, we'll be looking at gold, and it'll be gold on one above and one below. So if it's, say, obviously put 2025 or 2026 40 or whatever, be $1 above, $1 below, put it just before and take it from there. I just hope the guys understand. Don't make sure it doesn't get filled, because if you see your trade orders up, you can move the line or keep your stop loss and modify there. The last thing you need is to get filled of your buy or sell order before the release of the data. That's the last thing you want. So yeah, but I figure $2, but I think make it $1, and you get filled, and hopefully it'll come out nicely. Just get your knees and pray. It's the difference between the expected and the actual. The worst is actually comes out as expected. Then the market gets confused. It's not supposed to be expected. See my point. But so yeah, I think we're more or less all agreed on that. So we'll do the gold instead. Now, the thing's got to work out volumes now. It's slightly different on gold because it's such a tiny contract size. I've got to think about this. Give me a second. Just going to get a little boy's room and I'll give some thought what we use for volume. Okay. Was going to say, right. So on 0.1, not 0.01, but 0.1, it's $1 per dollar movement in the gold price. So I think make it 20 rand, not 80 rand, make it just around 20 rand. You might myself a bit of a break on that one. So if you go 0.1, okay, yeah, I think you can work on the principle of make it $10, 180. So it's 20 rand a dollar. $10 is going to be 200. Yeah. So work on the principle as 20 rand. Work on the principle on gold is 20 rand per micro as your volume risk. Okay. Work on the base of 20 rand. Remember I said it was 80 for the euro dollar. Make it 20 rand, just 20 rand per 0.01. Work out your volume. And if you're comfortable going a little bit higher, some guys did pretty well last time. They want to go a little bit higher. That's up to you. But you can work it out while you're prepared to risk at 20 rand a shot. Okay, so that'll be your position size. All okay with that? All good with that? Any clarification on that? If any question on that, just let me know. Because you need to know your volume. So that's your job to work it out. So you work out with your volume is a 20 rand a micro, and when we do the CPI on Wednesday, and then you can do the gold one. Okay. All good with that. Okay. Good. Yeah, it's quiet here. Anything else? Because it might be an early show today. Because just a quick. Anything happened? Much happening on the front there. Eurocad's bumbling along. CAD CH Sheffield's bumbling along as well. Not much happening there. F stopped, and if you guys got filled, did you get filled in the end? You just about got there. The 12 on the buy, 11.99 on the sell. I said, did anyone get filled there, or want to join it here? What do you think? What about you, Marty? Did you get filled? If you didn't, you might as well get filled at this point. Only 1 cent or so away. Won't make much difference to the risk reward. Don't want to miss out if you believe the trade's going to work. All good? A lot of the guys already left. Poor old Barnes owned probably bloody fiver. That is a shame. Okay, guys, if you're all good, then should we wrap it up? I know it's a bit early, but it's, I've run out of stuff to say. We've got the stuff we got out. Let's say if you want to do this when it's coming off a bit, I think chase it. If you didn't quite get filled, 1% getting filled on not much difference. I do like it and hope it works out for you. And yeah, see how the other trades work out. See if the NAS and Dow does come off a bit more. If you're still in it, if you're not in it, well, don't chase it now. And catch you tomorrow. I think so, Brian. Yeah, and see how they move along from there. Just make sure you have got the zit sizing right as per normal. Let it run. Try not to stare all the time. The up and down will drive you mad. And catch you tomorrow. Good stuff. And there's hardly anybody left on board. Most had to leave there anyway. Road shedding or whatever. It's a hassle. Okay, Jose, great stuff. See you tomorrow. We'll get some decent progress going during the week. And we make some good stuff on this goal on Wednesday. Well, then we'll put big smiles on our faces. Now, yeah, Jackie, as well as you guys. Okay. Cheers. Cheers, one, dear.